Today, where three nerdy friends talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture related. I am one third of the nerd, Sunny, and my other two co-hosts, on equal ground, obviously, is Frank and Manny.
Very nice
I
of you
feel
to say
like
that.
you don't mean equal ground because you have to say equal ground. I mean, that's like the first time we've ever said something like that. So,
Well, we say co-host. It's like my co-host, so I'm like, no, we're all equal. It's just,
Oh, okay.
yeah, sure. You guys like my sexy headband? I told you I was going to have headbands.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
You got the
Those
Raphael
locks.
going.
Look at those locks that I got. Oh, I could wear it like this now. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's just change the game for me. Okay, cool. Yeah, Sunny inspired me, so I'm just gonna grow it out and do that. Sunny, did you shave your face but not your neck beard?
No, it's not a neck beard, sir. It's just a chin beard. As you see, there's no hair.
But did you shave the front? I feel like you're like extra clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
You noticed his, but not mine. Mine was terrible last week.
You did something? you got some neck beard stuff going on too.
Yeah, you guys mine is always like wolf, like right here in the face.
You guys don't like the side cheek?
Well, mine can't. Mine's only grown here. I'm trying to get it here, but
you guys have very similar facial hair. It's just Frank keeps the mustache.
Well, that's not we are the same family, so that makes sense.
So I'm like a combination of both of you. If you guys grew the side beard and the headband and the hair, like I'm a combination of all you guys.
Pretty much.
All right. I guess that's enough of that. You guys want to just go straight into news?
Yeah, let's do news.
Who goes first?
Me.
Oh, let's do. You ready?
Man, this news keeps landing in my lap. Like I don't even have to really search for it. It just stuff happens, and then I'm like, "Ooh, I'm talking about that." My stuff is all VR related.
Well, hold on. Before you get into news, like, there's so much news that happens in the nerd, and unfortunately, I mean, we don't have all the time to cover it. So I would think the news and how I've been treating the news for us ever since is, we're not really a news outlet, but we pick up the news that's interesting to us and like gets us excited and stuff like that. So it's fine. You don't have to look for it. If you don't want to work, don't work. Whatever pops out to you.
Yeah, just take whatever interests me for that week. And there is so much, man. There's probably 50 to 100 per week, but it's whatever catches our eye. And one of the ones I'm going to talk about relates to our topic. So
we have a topic? I thought we said we didn't have a topic.
Well, we're thinking about May the 4th, so we have a lot of Star Wars stuff actually.
Oh, I guess we did.
So we got questions and topics or whatever. So I have 3 VR games that were announced. One of them is called Star Wars Vader Immortal. This is a VR game that was out on PC for a while. I think the 3rd episode of that just came out for PC not that long ago, but PlayStation said that they're going to bring it to PlayStation VR this summer. So I have heard good things about it, so I'm excited for it, and supposedly this has like a canon story. I don't really know anything about the story, but the ratings are pretty good for it, and there's like a lot of force powers and lightsaber stuff, so I do want to try that out.
I think that has to be the selling point for Star Wars stuff. Like, it has to be canon or it's not going to sell. At least for me, like, if it's not, that's why I didn't watch Clone Wars for so long. I didn't think it was canon. I was like, this is just a kid's show. Forget this.
Yeah.
And Clone Wars, the movie kind of sucked, but kind of not, but nah.
Yeah, it was all
right. Yeah. It has to be canon or I'm not interested. So now I'm interested.
Yeah, that was one part that stuck out to me, that it's going to be canon. There's also like a training mode that's called Lightsaber Dojos. I don't know a lot about it because I haven't played the PC game, but I think it's just you can mess around with your lightsaber in that mode. And then they announced that Walking Dead Saints and Sinners was released this week for PlayStation VR. I showed you guys a couple videos. What's kind of cool about it is that you could use your offhand like to grab the head of a zombie, and your other hand you stick the knife in, and then you have to like rip it out and stuff like that. So it got like 9s and 8s ratings, so it is pretty highly rated. I want to check that out at some point. It's $49.99. So right now,
Goddamn! For a
yeah,
VR game?
supposedly it's 20-hour story game. A lot to it, and it got high ratings, but still, it is kind of high. And I don't have all the time in the world right now for a 20-hour game, so we'll try it at some point.
Especially if it's VR, man. Like, you got to set that up, you got to have that ready, you got to make it look nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it. So there is that, but people were saying, I mean, they were really happy with that game. It got really high ratings. So, and there's two more that are real quick. There's one called Gorn. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's also one that was out on PC before. It's just like a cartoonish gladiator type game, but what's the fun part, I guess, about it is that you could dismember and it's a lot of physics stuff with swords.
You
and
got
weapons.
a lot of anger in you, don't you? You get excited with all this dismembering and stabbing a zombie head.
I guess you're right. But it's better that it comes out there than in real life, no? That's going to come out May 19th.
Especially in quarantine.
May 19th. The last one I really want is Iron Man VR, but they haven't said. All they did was delay it. I don't know when it's coming out, but so it looks like a lot of VR stuff coming out.
Yeah.
The Batman one was pretty cool. The Batman VR really, I got goosebumps. So
yeah,
I bought that. I bought that game. Haven't played it yet. The Spider-Man one, it was all right.
It was okay.
I think Spider-Man for PS4 was good.
Yeah, we played a lot of different ones. You guys came over. We tried a bunch of stuff. I've played a lot of random stuff too, and it looks like it's not stopping. And they're gonna support the old original VR headset with PS5, so at least you can take it with you.
Yeah, that's good. Sonny, you want to go next?
Sure. Let's go with this one. So there was I got this off of PCGamer.com. Let me run down this article as just making it short as possible. So they did an interview with someone from EA saying that they're planning on releasing 14 games from now until 2021. And one of those was a high-def remastered title. And the rumor is it's going to be Mass Effect, all three of them together, as a remastered edition.
We've only been waiting 6 years.
Yeah, I think EA's finally given in and going, okay, you can have this since we keep messing up things and charging you extra for stuff. So, as someone who is truly a big Mass Effect fan, I am very excited for this.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I love that.
Again, if it's for the PS4 and or PS5 or however they do it, as long as I can get my hands on it, I don't care. I want it. I need it. I'm very excited. And then everything else is like sports games, which, the Madden thing they had on that Xbox conference looks like every other Madden since 2016. So this is the only thing I'm really excited from EA.
I hope for Mass Effect they at least take the combat of 3 and apply that to 1 and 2. I don't know what they will do. Maybe they'll just directly recreate them.
I don't understand your thing of I hate old games. 1 is a very fun game. The shooting are great.
Dated. The shooting,
but it's still really fun to play with the character and the character development choices and interactions. I think 2 is by far the best out of all 3. But I've been dying to get this because my Xbox 360 just died a couple months ago, so I can't. Yeah, I can't play Mass Effect anymore. So pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
So yes,
you could play it if you have an Xbox One. You could do backward, but this would be better than doing that.
I want to do all that.
But the only reason I wouldn't is I don't have 100 hours to start that again.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a lot, but I'm a huge fan of it. Have been since it came out.
How about you, Manny? Are you a fan of these games? Have you played them more?
I played 1. Number 1. It was kind of fun. And no. Have you played all these, Sonny?
Yes.
Oh, so you rather play these games again and not play God of War or Spider-Man? Okay, cool.
You know what? You talk a lot of shit for someone who takes a long time to watch stuff, to play stuff. Because again,
I fucking told Violet that She wanted to watch that new Destiny show, and I'm ready to settle in on my Clone Wars. I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking finish this.
You ain't gonna
You're
finish nothing.
playing old games. I'm not watching.
You played God of War, and you quit playing. You quit playing because you said the game was too hard. The axe, the system's not working,
for about
and
a
you
year.
gave up on it. You can't tell me that you gave up on that game. You said, no, I hate the mechanics of the axe. I don't like it, and you stopped playing. The only reason why you picked it up because of quarantine. So don't sit there and judge me on this shit because the fact that you played it and you gave up and you said no. So
this looks like
I don't want to hear it anymore.
This looks like an episode of Raw. Like you guys are in the ring, like, you don't want to hear it, bro. You know what?
No, dude, I don't care because I went out and I bought it for $5. You've had it sitting in your room, probably collecting dust for the last 2 years.
Yours
was I got the little fire
playing a couple hours. You said, no, I'm okay. I don't want to play this no more. I don't need it.
$60.
You know what, Sonny? I even started the game over. It's not like I even started from where I was. I started the whole thing over so I could get the whole experience in. You have to just start the game. I started the game twice.
Yeah.
And I'm even playing Spider-Man twice.
Why didn't you finish the first time?
What was that?
Why did you finish the first time? I thought it was so good. It's a great game.
It is a great game.
I said
I wasn't in the mood to like.
Oh, you're in the mood like someone who isn't in the mood to play it right now because he's doing other things right now.
But
wow.
Granted, if I had someone like me in my ear, Frank doesn't really get in you and say, "Dude, you got to play this game. You got to play this game. You got to play this game." He doesn't really do that.
I'll say it once, and if you don't do it, forget you.
If I had someone in my ear saying, "Hey, you got to play, you know what was in my face? In my face was all these commercials for a PlayStation 4. I'm like, you know what? I never did finish God of War. I'm going to play that one. I motivated myself.
You know what we got to do is we got to figure out at what episode does he play it. So we'll see how far we go, where he plays it.
He's not going to play it, dude. He's not going to play it. It's just going to be sitting there. He didn't pay anything for God of War. He paid dirt cheap for Spider-Man. And I paid $70 for God of War. I paid $75 for Spider-Man.
Why 5?
Huh?
Why 75?
I guess 70.
DLC and stuff, right?
Yeah, I counted tax in there.
Oh,
but whatever. What other news you
got? Taika Waititi will be directing a Star Wars movie. I believe it's going to be.
Are you confident that's how you say his name?
Taika Waititi?
Yeah, are you confident?
That's it. Yeah, I would say.
Okay, because I don't know. I'll take it.
First name for sure. Last name, yeah, pretty sure.
Waititi.
This would be what after Thor, so maybe in 4 years we'll see this movie.
Something like that. He is going to be co-writing it, and he's going to direct it. He's going to co-write it with Christy Wilson, who directed who wrote 1917 script.
Oh, I never even knew.
Yeah, so this will be fun.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's canon.
Got some credibility behind it.
Oh, I mean, this guy, I think if he makes 2 more good movies, he's going to be my top 3 directors of all time. But just hands down, this guy is fantastic.
I mean, he's always hitting 100%, man. I don't think he's made anything bad.
He's a funny guy. He knows how to write.
He's beyond talented, man. That guy.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's gifted as hell, and I'm really glad he's gonna dip into Star Wars because they need their main movie stuff or the movie stuff needs a good dose of excitement because with the exception of Rogue One, everything's been meant to average at best.
And it's crazy how much humor he injects, but he still made Thor like dramatic and a worthy entry to the MCU.
Well, you guys know he directed Mando, right? A couple Mando episodes.
Yeah, I think like the last one and something else, right?
Yeah.
And then he does a lot of voices. He does Korg and Thor, and he does the robot, the IG unit. In Mando.
Do you guys think he got this movie because of Mando?
Yeah, I mean it has to be.
I think that was a test run.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they gave him 2 episodes to be like, let's see what you got, and I think the fans really said, yep, these last 2 episodes are great. So that kind of gave Disney the okay to be like, okay, you can have your own movie now.
Seems like Mando's like a camp for directors, and then they cherry pick people. They're like, all right, man, you want to do a movie?
It almost seems like Favreau right now is the godfather of Star Wars. It seems like.
Yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, he birthed the Marvel movies, so I think he should be able to help bring in a new wave for Star Wars here. Because with Mando, it's kind of interesting because like it is smart on Disney's part to bring someone in to direct an episode or two, because they're even though it's an overarching story, that they each feel like their own little thing. So so like the present episode feels different.
Yeah.
First episode, the last episode feels different from the one before that one, and you kind of get even though again it's all connected, but they feel like a new entry or like one-shot comic. So
and they can bring their style to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Do you have Disney Plus, Sonny?
I do.
Did you watch Gallery, the Mando documentary kind of thing?
No, is it good?
Yeah,
it's
you should
very
watch
good.
it.
There's a lot of Taika
episode 2.
Yeah,
episode 2 is today or came out today. I haven't watched that one, but I think they start talking a little more about Baby Yoda and all that.
Yeah,
or the child.
That. Right, the child.
Yes.
Did your child ever come in the mail, Manny?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered the animatronic. I'm waiting for that.
You know what? I was at Target today and I didn't go look for it. I should have gone look for it.
There's no way I would have one.
Why? It's quarantine. Everyone's looking for a sanitizer and stuff like that.
No, man. People are bored, man. I saw a line of like 50 people outside the store the other day.
For where?
For Target over by me. They were lined up like 10 stores down. They were really far down.
Yeah, because
for the paper meat
sells everything. What do you say? The meat?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I mean, they're grabbing that too. That stuff's gone. But I would say that Yoda, man, that would not be there, man. I would be extremely like surprised if you saw one.
I should have went. All right, my news. And we're gonna stick with Mando. I actually got 2 things for Mando.
Sweet.
Robert Rodriguez and Peyton Reed are both directing episodes for Mando season 2.
I'm glad
so
about
that's
Robert.
Pretty cool. Robert Rodriguez's episode, I don't know, man. That could go different spots, different ways. So
it could.
And then Peyton Reed, I'm expecting more. Even though he kind of helped write Ant-Man. I'm kind of expecting like a more down to earth kind of episode.
Is he the guy like behind Baby Driver and stuff?
No.
Okay.
I know where I first saw his name was attached to
Bring It On.
Bring It On? What?
Yeah.
Are you talking about? Oh, this whole time I thought you were talking about Robert Rodriguez.
No. Peyton Reed. Who is he again?
Oh my God, he does mainly comedies. He did both Ant-Mans. Well, he wrote both Ant-Mans. He did Bring It On, I guess, and he did Yes Man, The Breakup. He does comedies.
Oh, all right.
So
Yeah. So.
I'm thinking that's going to be a little more down to earth, but it's going to be a funny episode.
Yeah, character, funny episode or something. I don't know.
A little more Baby Yoda. I think that's where Baby Yoda is going to shine in that one for sure.
Yeah.
And then the second one, which kind of goes with where I'm watching Clone Wars, is Boba Fett is going to show up in season 2 of The Mandalorian, man. And the same actor, I don't know his name. God, Jesus.
The guy who played Django, right?
Yeah, the same actor from Clone Wars is going to be playing Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. And so what's his name? Oh, I can't pronounce it. I don't even want to hear it.
He's like a Islander.
Tamara Morrison. I'm killing it. Sorry, man. But he has such a cool voice. You could hear it in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Every single clone, which is awesome. And then he not only played Jango Fett, he is now going to play Boba Fett, which is awesome.
Nice.
Too. And you know what? It's funny because I catch myself sometimes. I'm like, man, I wonder how Boba Fett looked. And I'm like, oh, wait, he looks like Jango Fett.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I mean,
We know how Boba Fett looks.
yeah, I guess you're right. He's his son, but
It's a clone. It looks like him.
yeah, I mean, pretty much.
He
That
might
was a
look a
good
little
call. I
different.
mean, pretty much you could just hire that guy.
Yeah. But I
That's cool,
wonder.
man.
I almost wonder if it's going to be a flashback. Like maybe Boba Fett was. No, because he's not really Mandalorian, dude. So I don't know.
Think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they might touch on like how did you get that armor?
Might do that or how he came back. I don't know if it's canon how he came back. I haven't really looked at stuff like that. So
Mando is after Return of the
Mando's
Jedi,
after
right?
the last one. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna. See, I didn't even think about that because he was in that pit, and so it's like, how did you get out of there? Yeah, they could do a lot with that.
But then also at the end of man, that one annoying episode with the young bounty hunter and and that girl
You mean from the
hunter.
cartoon or what?
No, from Mandalorian. I forgot what episode it was. Where he takes on that young bounty hunter and they go hunt someone else. Do you remember?
I think it's like number
On
4.
Tatooine, something like that.
Oh yes.
Someone showed up at. Actually, I'm gonna put it on. Someone showed up at the end.
Oh my God, you're right. I
A lot
forgot
of
about
people
that.
thought it was maybe Boba because it's on Tatooine and all that.
There was a shadow, right, that it shows up, and
it's a shadow that came up. And then what's cool too? I'm moving my baby swing.
I completely forgot about that.
What's cool about that too is that they don't even mention that it's Tatooine until like you're in the actual episode. And I forgot what they actually say about it. But as soon as the episode started and they went into the canteen, I'm like, this is Tatooine. This is Tatooine. And which is really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Season 2. I mean, can't come fast enough. But I think they didn't even finish filming, right? So.
Well, I mean, they started a good amount because Robert Rodriguez took a picture with the child.
Oh, okay.
So I think they got some stuff.
That would be interesting if they did like half of it now and half later or something.
Just to give us like a little bit of taste of it.
And plus, even if they kept up with the 1 week thing, they would still give them 6 weeks alone.
You're pretty close, man. It was episode 5.
5.
Okay. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, even though that guy was annoying, I still like that episode. I thought it was kind of cool.
It was okay. It wasn't great.
I love the music.
Yeah. Well,
that's fine. Like it has good music, but I think until like the prison episode, the music didn't really match what was going on the screen. I remember, I think it was episode 3 maybe, where they were in they were hired to fight the scavengers or whoever, and like they're all getting killed, and it's a dramatic scene, and the music's all upbeat and exciting. It was like that was always my biggest issue with like the first half of the first season, was the music just never matched what's actually happening on the screen. But yeah,
I'm gonna rewatch. I'm
like,
not sure.
Again, after the prison episode, I was fully back in the show, and it did not disappoint from there.
Yeah.
From the prison episode into the last episode, it was fantastic. I wanted more, and I'm very excited for season 2.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Can't wait.
Wait, after the prison episode, there was only 2 episodes left.
There was like
the
3
show
of them?
lost you?
Yeah. Because again, we had this talk where the episodes were just too short, and then when they went to like 45 minutes, the episodes got a lot better, because now they, instead of trying to cram it in, they had an extra 15 minutes or so. They actually like stretched it out, which was nice.
There was times where it's like, why aren't they doing anything? Like, it's just so unrelated. But I was still enjoying it. Like, I didn't really care. To me,
there was no episode 45 minutes long.
I was able to forgive it.
The last one's 48 minutes.
First one, 39, 32, 37, 41, 35.
43, 40, and then 48.
There's a 48, yeah.
40, 48, that's still more time. So
it gets longer. So,
yeah, so I don't know why you got to be like that, but all right.
Because there's no 45-minute episode. There's not even one that gets.
No,
there's a 43.
I mean, I guess the prisoner one. But I think it's kind of genius that these were like 40 minutes long, because it always made you want more and more and more, which is pretty cool. And I didn't get tired of it at all. Like, I wanted more, but I didn't get tired of it. maybe the beginning, because I just wanted to see him like kick ass and all that. But
Yeah.
no, man, it had me every Friday. I remember.
Oh yeah, I was ready to
like,
go every week.
I won't say I was tired, but it was like, okay, so this show is just gonna be, this happens, and this is very episodic in nature. I'm like, okay, it's cool. Like, I was hoping for something more, but then when we started to get into it, I'm like, okay, this is what I want, because when you watch anything Star Wars, like the Clone Wars, either the CGI or the 2D one from 2003 to 2005, there's a big story arc that like it all makes sense and it all matters. So I was like, okay, if this is gonna be one of those shows, it's gonna be like Law and Order, where like it's just like, here's this episode, and this has this episode, this has, then okay, it would have been cool, but the fact that they started to actually tie things in was nice. So I was really excited about that. So yeah, but yeah, season 2 is shaping up to be really interesting. I'm very excited to see where they go with it, especially after the way season 1 ended. So
this show was, you could compare it to Clone Wars. Clone Wars was shown out of order. So I don't get the same thing. So if I didn't see it in order, I might argue with you and say that Clone Wars didn't really have a arc to it until the season I'm in, which is season 4. Which this is the only season that from 1 to 22 it all goes in order, which is kind of. And then I think season 5, which I'm going to start pretty soon. Season 5, you got to skip the first episode and just go to the second episode, and then first episode, I think you watch the middle of it.
Well, they go off on tangents a lot. They're like, here, we'll do this, and then we'll do that, and then now we'll come back to that.
But if you watch it, it's not tangents. If you watch it in order, it's not tangents. So I appreciate that part. This is more in order.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't change it, because anything I would change is just going to be a selfish reason and not to better the show. I think I like their formula. I'll take the bullet and
what show? Mando?
Mando. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I would change anything really. I wouldn't make it longer, because I'm just afraid of the burnout that everyone's feeling with Star Wars, and I'll stop getting this good show.
Yeah. No, I'm on board. It's fun. So I'm all good with it.
Okay. Nerd out. Sonny, you want to start with your nerd out?
Sure. So I've had a little more downtime at work, and I've been able to slip in some TV shows. So I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm on season 3 right now. Show's pretty funny, actually. It's really funny. I always saw clips of it, and people talked about it. I'm like, it's okay. It didn't really catch my eye. So when I was at work, I started to sit down and watching. I'm like, oh, shit, this is really funny, actually.
I think it's on Hulu, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's on Hulu. I love the cast. I think the chemistry is great.
Terry Crews is on it, right? And who else is on it?
Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Oh, other people from other places. I can't remember their names offhand.
I saw one or two episodes randomly. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, again, like if it was a quarantine time, it's something cool you put on the background while you're cleaning or something. You could laugh and in and out. You don't have to pay attention to it, but yeah, it's good. I'm not feeling like sometimes when you marathon a show, you get that feeling like, all right, I got. Yeah, but so far I'm still in it. It's still funny. It's still going. Still going.
How many seasons they got?
A lot.
Don't quote me, but 7.
Like 7. Yeah.
How long is the episode? 30 minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 20 something minutes, like 22 minutes maybe long.
And like each season is what, like 20 episodes or more or less?
So 1 through 5 is like 22 episodes, and 6 to 7 are like 13.
Yeah.
So.
But see, that's what makes it so good, though. It's because it's 20 minutes long, and you could just kill like 3 of them and not feel it.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch The Office?
I tried.
Didn't really get into it.
You don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it, man. I hated all the characters. I hated everybody in that show.
Seven seasons for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then averaging about 22, 23 episodes, except season 7. But I think season 7, oh no, it still says NBC. They got bought by someone. Who did they get bought by? Oh, is it by Is it NBC that bought them? No.
Yeah, because I think they were canceled by Fox, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
You're probably right.
They cancel everything, so that makes sense.
Yeah, Fox just kills everything that's good in the world.
Almost Human.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, don't even get me started on that. That was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if you guys want to check it out, it's like Frank said, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
Easy watch, fun. Again, you can bounce in and out with it. You don't have to pay attention to it in depth, but it's really good. I can see why people were mad when it was canceled the first time, and they were up in arms about it. So
yeah,
I get it.
That's cool. It's always good to have a lighthearted one in there.
Yeah,
that you could binge and stuff like that.
Sometimes you just need some laugh and good things in your life instead of depressing shit. So
yeah, man, I'm with you.
So many God of War reference I want to say in there, but I held my tongue. So be proud, Sonny. I'll go next. So I'm playing a little. I'm working at home and all that, and I get burnt out working customer care. So whoever is working customer care out there, my hat's off to you guys. You're pretty close to being frontliners. But I've been playing a little more MLB, the show. Finally started picking that up again and finishing my season off. I'm only on like April 8th, so I'm pretty far behind. But that's kind of fun. And then I haven't watched Star Wars, the Clone Wars, in a long time. Like I dropped off of that the same time I dropped off of Modern Warfare. I haven't really been playing with that with you guys. Mm-hmm. But I finally got a good spot in Clone Wars where Darth Maul finally shows up.
Oh, okay.
And I'm starting to I want to pay attention to see what exactly happened because he shows up and he doesn't look like the Darth Maul that we know from the show or from the movies. So it's pretty cool, man. I like it so far. I'm trying to finish season 4 and then I can get to season 5. And I'm trying to push through to season 7 because I have not seen any spoilers. I haven't seen anything.
That's good, man.
Helmet in the snow, and I just looked at it a little bit longer.
Oh, no.
And the helmet, I'm like, God damn it!
Oh, man. Yeah. How much have you seen of this show, Sonny? Where are you at the show?
Mainly, I've actually seen the Darth Maul stuff, and I've seen and it's tied with Darth Maul, the Mandalorian stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all that stuff.
That's where I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm so excited. So when the Easter egg, I guess you want to call it, because I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the Solo movie. When he showed up, I'm like, oh, I know why, and this is why, and that's awesome. So it was really exciting.
There's a weapon that shows up in Mando that I didn't really have any connection to because I didn't finish Clone Wars at that point. But once I got up to that part in Clone Wars, I was like, oh, okay.
When I saw it,
so I know a lot of the lore to it, like the stuff. Like I didn't think I was gonna watch the show, dude. So I watched the little highlights of Darth Maul when he came back.
Yeah.
Not too many that I could remember, so it's not gonna really spoil it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also saw the weapon that you're talking about. I wanted to know a bit more about it. Yeah. I even saw the fight that ultimately killed Darth Maul between him and Obi-Wan, and I think that's in Rebels, if I'm not mistaken. That came out 2 years ago. So I plan on starting Rebels after this because I found out that some characters go to that show now.
Oh, do they?
Rebels. Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out because I just finished season 7, and I wanted more, so I'll probably try Rebels, but it's gonna be a lot different. So I'm trying to I don't know, I don't want to screw up my expectations or anything. So
yeah, Rebels really looked cartoonish, but
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a shot.
And there's Resistance as well. It's another one that came out after.
Mm-hmm. But Resistance,
I don't know anything about it really.
That one's more closer to Force Awakens, is it not?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know anything about it except the name.
I think Resistance is more to Force Awakens because I think I saw BB-8 kind of. on that one. Let me see
Wow.
it. Yeah. I don't see. Maybe I'll stop.
Try it, man. I mean, 1 episode, 2 episodes, I'll try it. But I mean, I'm not in a hurry. I just finished season 7. I'm still kind of like high on that show. Season 7 worth a watch for sure. The animation, man, it really went impressive on that.
Good. Yeah, but keep watching it. Well, for the Darth Maul stuff, because that is something that I love. That's like one of my like I said, I haven't watched all of Clone Wars, but when I saw that and I saw the storyline and the arc of his story, I'm like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, I'm watching Rebels because I just saw the like the little thing, and Darth Maul's there, and then I go down to season 2, and lo and behold, Darth Vader shows up in that one. And yes. I think there's what's the main girl's name? Ahsoka?
Yeah, Ahsoka.
I think there's an Ahsoka fight here with Darth Vader in here that I watched, and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna watch this. Let me just watch this cool ass fight with this Jedi that I don't know about. And that fight was pretty cool.
I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, I'm gonna start watching this one too.
Pretty intuitive.
Oh man! All right, I gotta check out Rebels.
Yeah, because I think Rebels is like before Rogue One or after Rogue One or something like that, or like it's before.
Rebels.
I think
has,
because I remember 4 seasons. I remember one of the episodes they're talking about a weapon that can change the tide of the war, which I believe is the Death Star. So I think it's either before or during that time period. I think.
Yeah, I think it's leading up. So. Star Wars Rebels is animated between Episode 3 and New Hope. Yeah, so it's right there, man. You're right.
All right, man. I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, check it
actually, looks like one of the little creatures that Mando rides shows up in Rebels. So if you
shows up in Clone Wars, dude.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even realize that.
With
the Blorg, or what is it called? Blarg?
Yeah, the one with Nick Nolte's character. I have spoken.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, they show up in Clone Wars, man.
I didn't even know that.
I wish I could go back in time and watch all this before I watched.
Yeah.
Mando and all them, man. Like they were good. They were good. Kudos to the Clone Wars, man.
I am. And actually, looking through the pictures, there's something that ties into Fallen Order as well. Did you play that, Annie?
That's on my next one. You could treat me like Sunny, but
I mean, because it's good. It's worth playing. It's just not like I would beat anybody down for it if they didn't. But it's worth playing though. But
I'm inching closer and closer to it. I have it somewhere here.
It's worth a play. They released some free DLC for it where you get a costume that I don't want to talk about because it ties into the story, and then you get a gauntlet mode where you can create your own battles and you could set up what you want to fight against, and you just do endless battles and stuff.
I'll just sell it to Sunny so I could buy the digital copy. That's what I've been doing lately. I think that's kind of why I haven't played it, because it's like I gotta get up, I gotta take out my Call of Duty. No, not my Call of Duty, my MLB, and then
holy shit!
I'm not gonna lie, that's where
we're pretty bad about the disc stuff. I do too, because sometimes I'm like bored looking through the games, and one of them has a little disc symbol, and I was like, I ain't getting enough to put the disc in.
Like I didn't want to buy The Last of Us Part 2, but I'm getting it cheaper, so I mean I'm not gonna spend more money for digital. So I finally used that coupon, and now going forward, I'm only going to do digital. But
I want to see Rebels now, man. I'm actually pretty much on board for that.
Yeah, I'm going to finish Clone Wars today. I might
was
not play
Fiona part of it or no?
More episodes. What's up? Who
was Fiona in charge of Rebels or no?
I think he was, man, because he normally is an animator. I'll look it up. I probably can't find it. But the one episode I was talking about with Mando about maybe Boba Fett showing up, he actually directed that episode, which was pretty cool.
Oh, the sand one, the Tatooine one, yeah.
And if you watch Sonny, when you watch that galleries thing, I don't know, man. I kind of gained more respect for Dave Filoni, for sure.
Yeah, the gallery thing is well done. It's got a lot of the directors that were part of season one, and there's some really cool stuff that you can check out in that.
And the cool part is that Dave Filoni is like a Star Wars nerd, dude. So,
he knows everything.
He doesn't want to mess it up. Yeah, he doesn't want to mess it up. There's a cool story that he has on that little documentary on Disney Plus, is that when he was called to do the Clone Wars, he didn't think it was real. He thought the SpongeBob people were making fun of him and doing a prank on him.
Well, because he worked on Airbender at Nickelodeon, so
yeah. Working on Airbender. And, he was so geeked out for episode 3 coming out that's why he thought the SpongeBob people were making fun of him, and then he got to meet George Lucas and all that.
Yeah.
So he's a real down-to-earth, humble guy that loves Star Wars, so I trust him.
Yeah, man. You could see the love in it, because he asks, what's his name? He asks Favreau a question, and he's like, no, man, that's like 2 deep cuts for me. He's like,
that's deep cuts for me. Yeah.
But I knew what he was talking about, but I was like, Favreau was like, yeah, I mean, he knows and he loves it too, but Fione's like, he knows every little detail. He might remember when somebody ate like a piece of bread in one random episode somewhere, like, that's the kind of stuff he remembers. Like, he'll remember every little detail.
Yeah, so I'm down, man. I'll watch him. What's your nerd out?
It was continuing with VR. I played Wolfenstein Cyberpilot.
Okay.
Where you pilot a mech, and it's really cool because the scale is really cool. Like you have this bunker that you're in, and then the size of it is just ridiculous. Like when you look around, you could tell that this is like 100 feet tall, or when there's robots, you could see how giant they are.
Okay.
And, it's a really good VR game. It was very cheap. I think I got it for $8. And you just kind of, there's a lot of fun VR stuff where you could use tools to do some engineering stuff. Like you could modify robots and cool stuff like that. But then you get into the action, and you're like pulling levers to shoot something, or you're calling these repair droids and stuff like that. So it's a cool VR game. I haven't played too much of it, but I like it so far. And then I got an accessory for PlayStation VR called the AIM controller. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's pretty much just like a rifle. And what it lets you do is like you can move around. You can walk a little more freely, like you would in a regular game. Because normally, like in VR, you could kind of like teleport around, or you could turn around, but you can't really walk like in a normal game. So this controller lets you do that, and then you could hold it up to your shoulder, and you can shoot it like a rifle. It only works with, I think, like 20 games, and there's one that was specifically created for it called Farpoint, and that's the one I played so far. And it's kind of just like giant bugs. You're like on a planet, and you're stranded there, and there's giant bugs, and you just shoot them. It's really nothing like profound or anything, but
it's just fun.
Just the mechanics are fun. Like you get different weapons, and these bugs try to get you, and it gets anxious because some of them jump at your face, so you're trying to back up and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But I really did like it, except I got a little sick from it after like an hour. I kind of got a headache and stuff, so it might have been the full motion thing, because like I said, like most of the games I play, you just stand there and dodge, or you stand there and shoot. So like moving completely in 360 and being able to turn, it's just kind of was a little too much. So I think I got to build it up, because the more you play, the less sick you get. I remember the first time I played VR, I got the same feeling even though I wasn't moving around. So after a while, I got used to it. But I think you guys were less sick than me. I remember like Manny wouldn't stop with that freaking Batarang and the Spider-Man. Nope. And he wasn't sick at all. And Sonny, I don't think you were either. You were
the Spider-Man game, it took me a second because it was like
that was weird.
Like your actual swing, but like after about a minute, I'm like, okay, I got it. It was cool.
Yeah, so maybe some people are more sensitive to it.
Yeah.
But that controller is pretty cool, and it works. There's this one zombie game that they have for it that it works with, and you're just kind of like looting cars and trying to kill zombies. I haven't played it yet, but it works with that controller. Um,
Nice.
so yeah, I was just kind of on the VR thing with the news and the nerd out.
Okay. That's good. It's a nice tie-in.
Yeah, man, especially with that Vader news, I want to play that game. I always
Yeah.
saw it like the Vader Immortal thing. I kept looking at
Yeah.
videos and I was like, man, this sucks. I
So,
wish they would put it on VR.
so you fight him in that game?
No, I don't know actually.
I think you're him.
I've seen a few videos. Yeah, I think you are him.
I'd rather
And
fight him.
yeah, I don't really know. I don't know a lot. I've seen some videos of it, and it looks really good. But I don't really know about it.
Yeah, because I remember there was this arcade game we used to play. I think at the core, it was the Star Wars game, and in there you can actually fight Darth Vader. And I mean, it wasn't great, but yeah, like if they can bring that to like VR style, then that'd be awesome.
Oh, you mean like the arcade game, or which one?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
one like sit down and think you were in Hoth and you were shooting
There's
off guys.
yeah, I remember that game. That was really cool. There was a what was that called? Oh yeah, there's a in the first Battlefront for PS4. There's a VR mission that you can go on, and I think you fly an X-wing and you could look around in in the ship. So I haven't done that yet, but with the Vader game, I just heard that it was pretty good. So
Yeah,
hopefully it is. But I just like I said, I don't really know anything about it.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But
Sometimes,
because I was like, I don't want to learn about this and then be dying to play it, and I can't.
right, and
It's
it's
not on
terrible.
PSVR. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I was like,
or just terrible. So
yeah,
yeah, sometimes it's good to go into it. I mean, anything really, just as blind as possible, and just be pleasantly surprised. Sometimes you want to know about something because you don't want to run the risk of paying $65 for a game and it being terrible,
yeah,
or you're like with VR, it's kind of a toss up. Sometimes I'll actually a lot of times they're on sale, so you can pick one up pretty cheap and like get like $5-10 game,
oh
and
yeah, man,
and it's like, oh, for this price, this is great value. So it's kind of
yeah,
a damned if you did, damned if you don't situation. So
yeah, and that's the way I picked up a lot of games like really cheap, and then like Cyberpilot $8. Um, what else? A lot of the ones we all played together. The Batman one I got for like 5.
what was it like? So what was it, like super hot or something like that? It was like,
Yeah, super hot. I
yeah,
think got it for
that was
10 or something.
actually a really cool game. Actually, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I got stuck at one part, but
Yeah,
that's just because I'm not good enough yet.
it was just awesome to like throw up an axe, grab it, and throw it, and shoot somebody.
Yeah,
Like that. Like I like again the potential for VR is so large and vast. It's hard to tell where it's actually going to go if actually people put the time and money into it. But that game was really fun to play. Like and it does what a game does. It's challenging and it makes you want to keep playing to get better, so you can keep moving forward. So
yeah, that one I like a lot. There are some games that are just, yeah, they really propel VR forward, but there's a lot that are just complete junk that,
yeah, it's just
not
like,
that good.
oh, it's like VR. We have to have a VR game so we can make money. Like I think Skyrim was a VR thing that
Yeah,
I didn't hear it was great, so I'm assuming it was pretty bad.
I'm not
Oh,
sure. Yeah, I heard you could
yeah.
walk around in that one. I watched like a video right now of Vader, and
Yeah.
I don't know, he was swinging at you and you're trying to defend yourself. So I don't know, maybe you do get
I
attacked
don't.
by Vader. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a fight with Vader. I don't think you are Vader. I don't know. I couldn't find anything about the story. It's just kind of
Yeah,
cool because they keep a tight lip. All I saw is that you end up on Mustafa in the
oh,
beginning,
okay,
and that's really it.
nice. Yeah, so I really want to play that, man. Hopefully it comes out really soon, like maybe June or something.
How much would you pay for it?
Um, I go 40. If it's more than that, I don't know, because I heard it's not that long, so I wouldn't probably go more than that. But
Always pushing.
um, yeah, I mean 40 is kind of high too. So I would like it to be 30, but I mean if it's 40, I would probably still do it.
I saw the price 30 for Oculus at least.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see on that one. But yeah, that's the one thing I was surprised about. I really want to play it, especially with all this Star Wars buzz that's going on lately with everything.
Do you think that's only going on because of May the 4th that just happened? Because
I mean they always try to make that a big deal, and I never really get into it. This year, probably a little more than before, but I don't know. They always try to do something with that.
But if you think about it, like, it's going to be interesting where Star Wars heads to now, because it's not going to really be dependent on Skywalker, or it might still be. They're going more, if rumors are true, they're going to go more for the Old Republic kind of stuff. So it's just interesting on where it's probably going to head to.
Well, I mean,
what's up?
This is, stuff. I mean, like with Skywalker stuff, people are meh on at this point. But yeah, I mean, so far the Star Wars future is looking really good. The Fallen Order, that game was received very well. Mandalorian was fantastic. The last season of Clone Wars, I heard like it's a little slow, but like the last episode is like oh man, shit, like it's really good.
What's kind of nice is you have options, I guess. Like if you kind of like on the Skywalker, you could go to Mando, or if that's not really the greatest thing for you, you could stick to the game, Fallen Order or something. I don't know. I guess you got a lot of options right now.
Yeah, so it's bright. The future is bright for Star Wars finally again. Yeah, we'll see where everything goes now. Only time will tell.
What was the first time you guys ever saw A New Hope? Do you remember?
Oh boy.
Were you small kids? Were you a little older? Were you like high school? When did you see it?
I was in high school, and I wasn't like a baby child. I was.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, anywhere between like 5 and 8.
Yeah.
So I remember I probably, my family has bought the Star Wars movies maybe like 9 times since they've come out. I remember having the big silver and black box set. I want to say the one that I remember most vivid of watching Star Wars was when it got re-released in the theater, and my brother took me to go see it, and go see Force Awakens. What am I saying? New Hope. And I knew that these movies were out already, but I don't know why my brain couldn't compute.
Yeah.
And it was cool is that they showed the trailer of Empire Strikes Back. And I remember my brother asking me, "Is that the one you wanted to see?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the one I want to see." It's like, "Well, it's not this one." I remember him saying that. And I'm like, "Oh, that's okay, that's fine." Like, this is the one that comes before this one. I'm like, "Oh, okay." But I don't really remember seeing the movie. Like, it just happened. It's one of those things that just like I still remember watching Jurassic Park for the first time. I still remember like my mom picking me up from like daycare or whatever, and I have the movie. And I don't even know how I heard about Jurassic Park. Now that I think, I can't remember, but I know I remember the black and the red and the yellow, and the front of the VHS was just the poster. I don't know how I knew about it, but I got to put it in, and I was amazed from there.
Yeah.
The Star Wars is like one of those things that just
like it's always been there, but you don't remember how, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I know the movies were out by the time my brother took me to go see it in that theater.
That was what, like late 90s, right? When that re-released, or like 97?
Yeah, I almost want to say 97.
Yeah.
With that.
Well, I always saw them like at the Blockbuster and stuff. I was like probably like 5 or 6, but I never picked them up. And then for some reason, a coworker of my mom's was like, "Hey, does your son like Star Wars?" And she's like, "I don't think so." And then she said, "Well, I think he would like the movies." And she lent her the VHS collection of all 3. And so she brought it home one day. I wasn't like dying to watch it or anything, because I thought it was weird. Like all you see is like little Yoda's head, and you see like weird heads, right? Like you don't really see much.
The half of it?
It's the whole thing, but it's just the head by itself on a black background. And then, so I was like, this looks weird. Like I wasn't dying to watch it, but then it sat on the shelf for like weeks, and I guess I must have got bored at some point and put it in. And I remember I did immediately like it, and I kept watching them. And then after that, I kept wanting to, buy them, and I kept being interested every time something would happen, like they re-released them or episode 1 came out or games came out. Just kind of kept the interest rolling. But I just remember I wasn't like enthusiastic about it. I thought it was really weird.
When did the last what is it called? The Return of the Jedi come out?
That's like 89 or no, 88?
No, I think that's 93. Oh,
No,
that is 83.
83.
Holy
Holy
crap.
cow.
Yeah, 83.
My fault. Yeah, not 89. I was like, yeah, 83.
No, that's way too. That's way
Isn't
too.
that nuts, dude? These movies came out in 83, and I specifically remember the toys and all that for it. And they
Yeah.
never re-released them. It wasn't until the prequels came out. The prequels is when I really got the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fun of the toys and
Yeah,
all that.
man.
I remember having my Darth Maul.
Yep, I bought a Darth
With
Maul.
my mom to get the Naboo Starfighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's when I really fucking got into it, man.
Me too, man.
And I still remember Christmas. They re-released the toys. I remember going nuts for those too, and having Darth Vader fighting. Those
that
were
was cool.
little lightsabers that were kind of see-through.
Yeah, man. I forgot about those. Those were cool.
I still have the Han Solo toy downstairs. He's in his he's dressed up as a stormtrooper, and I forgot how he got it, but like it wasn't something you got in stores. Like you had to like hold for it through a magazine or something to get it. And we still have it downstairs. It's awesome. I remember, because I think as a kid, I think my dad bought it. He's like, oh yeah, because like again, like I loved anything sci-fi, fantasy. So it's like, oh well, you know, if you love Legend and you know all those kind of movies, you might like Star Wars. Yeah. And I remember watching them. I really loved them. And yeah, I mean, to go off Manny's point, we didn't really feel the full effect until the prequels came out, because now we were actually seeing the marketing, and it was actually being presented to us as something brand new, instead of, hey, everyone knows about this, you know, now we're just playing catch up. It was actually, we were going through the motions of it actually coming out in theaters, waiting for it to come out.
That was a big moment, man. That was insane.
I still remember too, like my brother got the poster for episode 1, and it's like little Anakin, and then the shadow behind him is Vader.
And
I looked at him like, I kept looking at him like, what? Why is Vader behind him?
You're confused, right?
And it never hit me. It never hit me, and then, until I'm watching the show or the movie, still didn't hit me. I think it was probably Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones that I finally put one and one together. I'm like, holy shit, this is Vader.
Yeah, man. I know, right? I remember Sonny's
I thought
dad,
it was like a spoiler kind of thing.
He showed me that same poster. He showed it to me, and he was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "That's Luke." He's like, "No, that's his dad. That's gonna be Darth Vader." I was like, "What?" He like blew my mind. I was like, "What?"
They're gonna show you what happened to Vader and why he is. I was like, "What?"
Dude, I mean, like, as cheesy as the movies can be, I still find the Vader story like sad, dude. Like, I get sad. Like watching like what happened to him, like the way he doesn't want to lose his wife, the way he lost his mom, and the way he was a slave as a kid, and you know, just all that stuff. I'm just like, oh man, that's like emotional, dude.
Isn't it nuts, dude, that we have lived to be annoyed by the prequels, and now with these new ones came out, we actually probably like the prequels a little bit more than Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi and all that.
The fans are really harsh, dude. Like they like made Lucas feel like, I'm sure they made him feel like shit for many years, man.
Oh yeah.
But I still enjoy the movies, man. I still like them.
I genuinely like Phantom Menace and and oh my god, I'm blanking on names. No.
Attack of the Clones.
No. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
those two. Clone Wars.
Revenge of the Sith was the best one out of them.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Again, because I was in 8th grade when that came out in theaters. I remember I was in 8th grade because we came back from DC on our trip, and like, let's go see Star Wars. Yeah. And I remember going into again like I was still a kid when he was coming out because in 8th grade I wasn't even I was just about to go into high school, so I was still considered a kid, so it's fine to like him. But yeah, man, it's just crazy to go through that. Like the way I guess like the way I saw the pod racing scene in Phantom Menace, so I thought it was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah, me too, man.
But if you actually like listen to like the old fans, it's like, oh, this is stupid. Why is this in here? This isn't Star Wars. This is like and again, like yes, Star Wars was always meant to be for kids, but it kind of transcends that in way.
It did. And they say that, and it's true, but you got to think though, the fans are older now. Like, yes, it was for kids, but the giant majority, I think, is older already. And yeah, you want to keep it going with new kids.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like you can't just completely ignore the older people who like it so much. So.
No, and I think that again, I think there was a good mix of that stuff. Is just purists, especially were like, no, this isn't Star Wars. But again, like we could talk about the new films too. But at least the prequels were trying to do something different from the style and the look of it. They introduced us to a new style of like a fights for the actual saber instead of just standing there. Like it was actually trying to do something different.
Well, it was like the golden age of Jedis.
Yeah, so that was always cool to watch as a kid. Like again, like seeing like that build up with Darth Maul standing like in the hangar open,
that's
and
ridiculous.
duels of the Fate starts to play, and it's just
that music is beyond amazing.
It's just oh my god, it's such a good scene.
The music has always been like,
but it took like
notch.
3 hours to get to that. That's the bad part. I think what happened with Lucas is that he got so entranced in his world and he got lost in his world that he tried to make the first one a little too realistic about politics and all that. And I get it, that's a big deal of it, but Clone Wars is such a that whole problem was supposed to be a TV show, not a movie with it. And that's the kind of the sad part about it. I don't even remember Attack of the Clones too much. I've either seen Phantom Menace just because to lead up to the fight scene of Darth Maul, and I've seen Revenge of the Sith because that's Violet's favorite one, and I mean Vader's one.
Well, the jumps are kind of crazy. Like when Attack of the Clones ends, Dooku is able to beat the crap out of Obi-Wan and Anakin with ease. And then at the beginning of the next movie, he's like, "Oh, hey, my powers have doubled," and he just kills him like instantly. So it's like,
it's funny that you bring that up. I don't know if I brought that up to you guys yet, but I was talking to Violet, and we were talking about Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
When is the big fight in Attack of the Clones? Like, when is the last fight before Revenge of the Sith starts? I want to see that.
What do you mean the last fight?
So there's going to be one fight against Anakin and Dooku, and of course Dooku wins again. And I might have seen it. I might have seen the fight just now, but I don't know. But basically, it's when he says, "My powers have doubled since last that," and all that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I hope they show it the last fight before the Emperor gets kidnapped. That's what I want to see.
Oh, okay. You mean in the show?
In the show, yeah.
Oh,
to kind of lead up to it.
Well,
because
keep watching.
Because the episode that I was at, it looked like the Chancellor was going to get kidnapped, and at the beginning of episode 3, he's kidnapped already. So I'm like, oh, is this it? And then
that's what I've been liking about watching this, because it really fills it in, and I like Anakin's character more because I've spent more time with him in the Clone Wars show than like if you just watch the movies only, like episode 1, 2, 3, like you don't really get that much. Like you don't end up liking him that much.
Comes up as like whiny and just like annoying in like in the movies, but in the show he's actually like fleshed out and like the motivation is a lot.
Yeah.
So
even Dooku is too, man. Like Dooku is one of the weakest Sith Lords for me. Like how the hell are you gonna replace Darth Maul with Dooku?
Yeah.
But in this, you start seeing a little more. I actually like Dooku in this more than in the show or in the movies.
They show you why people fear him and stuff in the show. Yeah, it's like
and
fleshed out.
His actual fights like I like the lightsaber fights in here, especially with Duke because he's standing straight up and he's a lot better with the lightsaber.
Did you notice? I didn't really ever notice this until I recently rewatched all the movies. But anytime Dooku fights, it's like this crappy CGI replacement for his face. Whenever he fights, it's really terrible.
Yeah,
oh,
I did notice it.
God, wow. But I mean, it's like you can't expect Christopher Lee to fight like that. But
yeah.
But still, it's like, man. Yeah. I was just like, I noticed it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm having fun with it, man.
Yeah, no, it's good. There's a lot of good Star Wars right now to watch. You could cherry pick what you want to get into and what you don't want to get into,
which is very nice. Because like I said, I think like I don't know if it was the fandom or the movies or something like that, but like I started to like just like I can't stand Star Wars anymore. So
yeah,
I think it was more the fans and stuff like that and all this kind of stuff. But no, like again, like Mandalorian really like gave me that.
Me too, man.
Feel like, oh, this is Star Wars right here. This is good shit right here.
It brought me back for sure.
Yeah, it did.
I never 100%. Left. I was standing by myself. Like, what are you guys talking about?
You were definitely on board the whole time.
I was trying to drink the Kool-Aid, even though it was a little sour.
Well, I was like enjoying other parts of it, but not that much. And then when Mandalorian came, and then Fallen Order and all that, then I really got back into it.
I was the guy that always preferred like the expanded universe, the comic books, the games.
Yeah, me too.
Like that stuff really intrigued me. So like the Mandalorian stuff, Bounty Hunters. There was a comic for Star Wars. It was about the Empire only, and like those are actually really good to read. It was like I won't say humanized them, but like it felt like these guys are just doing their job. Like they're clones. They're kidnapped or whatever. Like they just feel like, well, we just gotta fight because they told us to fight.
And then there's a comic about like the royal guards that you only ever see like in Return of the Jedi for like a second or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was cool about Star Wars is you could basically tell infinite stories because the galaxy is, I mean, it's so fleshed out. There's so much. I mean, there's probably like 1,000 races. Who knows how many races he has and how many planets, how many this and that. So there's just infinite stuff you could do.
Yeah. I mean, again, like, go ahead.
The cool part I was getting back to is the connection with both Clone Wars and all the way to the end of Rise of Skywalker. Remember Rey's lightsaber? If she ever turns to the Sith, to the dark side, did you ever see her lightsaber? Do you remember that kind of like that holding action?
Yeah.
That was in Clone Wars.
Really?
That same lightsaber was in Clone Wars. It's a little bit bigger because a bigger Jedi had it. I think his name was Jedi Kroll. It was like season. No, it's actually this season 4.
It's the big guy, right? He's got 4 arms or something.
Yeah. He has the same lightsaber as that one. I'm like, what the hell?
But his is like blue though, ain't it? Isn't that red?
Oh no, it's blue. It's a Jedi. But that's what I'm saying. That same kind of style.
The flip action, yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that.
Yeah, no.
I'm ready to watch some episodes, man. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna skip I gotta wake up.
Going. The show's good.
Did you guys ever watch the original one for the 2D animation? Yeah, from 2003 to 2005.
Yes, I love it, man, because it's Gendy Tartakovsky. Yes, the Samurai Jack guy. So
yes,
I love that cartoon.
You can very tell. I really like that. I actually just watched half. I watched half of it today, actually, and it's cheesy at parts, and like it kind of makes certain characters look a little more overpowered than what they are, but it's fun to watch. It's really cool, and there's a lot of little characters because like I think his name is Drag or Drog or something like that. Like he's like a bounty hunter and a mercenary, and like
a robot guy, like the big robot.
He's not a robot. He's
okay. That's armor.
Yeah, it's armor. So like he rides a speeder, but it's not like you see in the movies. He has a fucking chopper with like the bikes and everything, and It's fucking awesome. Like I
Yeah.
want more of that guy. Like,
Well, and then
like
the
But
other thing
is that canon? That's not canon, is it?
I don't think so. But you get some good clone action where they do these cool like operations and they kill a bunch of robots and it's like over the top like you're saying. And they focus on some of the Jedi Masters that don't get too much time in the movies, like the Kit Fisto guy, the green guy.
it is canon. It is
Oh,
canon.
it is? Okay.
Because General Grievous gets his lungs broken in the show, which carries over to Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, you were saying that, and I never knew why. But you were saying
Yeah.
that cartoon tells you why, right?
Yes.
Well, okay. Then this is where I will argue that it's not canon. You say he got his lungs broken?
Crushed.
Well, because there's an episode of General Grievous where he has a whole his lair, and he was actually he made himself into a robot, and he has everything. Like he just rebuilds everything. He doesn't. I don't think he has lungs in this one. They break him apart, and I don't think he has lungs here. I'm gonna see if it is canon with that. I don't know if I'll watch it.
That episode. It's cool because the action is really awesome, and I love that director. He's got the greatest, like to me, the greatest action. The way he puts it together and everything, and his humor. I like his humor a lot too.
It is because General Grievous was a badass. In the 2D cartoon, he was a badass. Like, like he felt like a menace. Like he was crawling on the walls and he, went in with his 4 arms, and it was awesome. And then because he fights Mace Windu, Mace Windu can't win the fight necessarily, so he like crushes his lungs. So then that's when he starts to like the whole time.
All the coughing stuff.
Yeah, so we see that carry over into Revenge of the Sith. Now, again, I'm pretty sure it's canon because I saw that episode and then like it appeared before episode 3. And I'm like, oh shit, that's awesome. So it was pretty cool.
Maybe it is because Ventress shows up in this too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She does.
Yeah. So yeah, this was the prelude to I think the CGI one when they're like, okay, now we because then they came out with the CGI movie and then the show. So this was first. I believe it was before everything else.
And I've looked for it, and it's nowhere on digital. You can only watch it on the disc.
So see, that's what makes me question: is it really canon then? Because you would think that would be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I still enjoy it.
I mean, I don't know because I know it was only on Cartoon Network only. I don't know if it was like an exclusive thing for them and like, oh, you can only watch it here on here or whatever because it wasn't on Disney or any other like it wasn't ABC or anything like that. It was on Cartoon Network only.
Yeah, it said it was one of the early works that leads into Revenge of the Sith. I don't know, with all the new canon stuff, I don't know if it does, but it's like it's not as story heavy as like the Clone Wars that you're watching, but it's more about the action and some of the characters get fleshed out.
So it's saying why isn't Star Wars Clone Wars on Disney Plus? It says we don't know for sure, but we have a theory. It's because the cartoon isn't officially considered Star Wars canon.
Where's that coming from?
Why. This is coming from an article on why it's not on from Inverse. This
could be because it's still distributed by Warner Brothers, so and it's part of Cartoon Network, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, so.
But I really wanted it on digital, but I can't find it. It's not available. So
I mean, you can watch it on YouTube. Like they have like all the episodes is like 2 hours and 25 minutes long. Clear.
Okay.
It's clear.
Really?
It's not bootleg or anything. It's a really nice upload. So
watch it because it was fun, man. Like I said, man, I can't get enough of that guy. His animation and
it's so good.
The action was so cool. So I love that show.
So give that a watch too. It's not something like you have to watch, but it's definitely fun to watch. It's
Yeah.
good, and if anything, I think you might want to start with the kids with this because again, it's more fast paced, it's more action. It might keep their attention a little bit longer because originally the episodes were only like 4 minutes long,
Yeah.
and like the last I think maybe 10 episodes were like went to like half an hour. So yeah, check it out. It's fun. Ooh, bless you. Oh, he's having a sneeze attack there. Yeah, right, Frank. Breathe. Breathe.
I'm good. I'm good.
But
I really
I
want
mean,
to watch this because this to me, man, I had so much fun watching it. Just it goes insane with the action, like
it
ridiculous.
does. It
And
really
it's
does.
also like like you're saying, it goes ridiculous with the powers because like their force powers are amplified by like 1,000. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like it's just kind of like that. But the season 7 of the new Clone Wars, actually has a really cool clone stuff in it. I don't want to go into it, but if you played the Republic Commando game and you enjoyed
Oh,
that part and you like the action of that cartoon that you're talking about, then there's some cool
yeah.
stuff in season 7.
Nice.
And then of course they get to the story, which everybody wants to know. But yeah, keep going, man. You got to finish. You got to finish
Oh,
up.
I am going. I am going.
Now,
He's like, I'm gonna watch it now.
get to the chopper.
What else we got, guys? Is that it?
I think so,
I
man.
mean, is there any last things? I guess again, I mean, I don't know if we want to go in depth into any other projects of Star Wars, but
It
like
was more like
game.
just enjoying Star Wars in general and like looking forward to Mando 2 and all that stuff.
Yeah. So just trying to think. Any other new projects coming out, like a new series, or who's going to be in charge of them, and any news on that we remember? Because I know at
No.
one point they would give Ryan Johnson his own three, then they were going to give the Game of Thrones guys did their own projects, and then they
Oh
quit.
yeah, those guys. Yeah,
Yeah, so
man. It
No,
seems like they were
I think
kicked out of the industry almost, man. I don't know what's going on with those guys.
I think that's why we're seeing a lot more news about Waititi and all that getting
hmm
his own
Oh,
movie and John Favreau and all that. Like he's the Godfather now. Dave Filoni, he's going to start like he's basically George Lucas right now. And
you know
then
what?
John
You know what I would
Favreau is
like to
kind of like
have?
his disciple.
I always wondered like what, like as soon as Vader is born, essentially, where he gets his suit and he screams out no in a funny way. Uh, like what happens? Like what can you fill in this time between that and episode A New Hope? And I was thinking about the way they resurrected the Clone Wars, and they
yeah,
did such a great job with the animation. I'm like, why do all that just to kill it with one season? So maybe there's going to be another animated show. This is completely like something like a wish list thing. I don't know anything,
Well, you
but
haven't seen Rebels either yet, man.
yeah, I haven't seen
It
that.
might answer that in Rebels because I think Darth Vader shows up a lot in
Oh,
Rebels.
you're right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, you said they fight and everything, right?
Yeah.
So Ahsoka and him. So yeah, I just want to know more about that. There is some Marvel comics that are canon where they show like immediately after that scene for Vader, and they go into it a lot with that. And there's some other ones that are that they tackle between New Hope and Empire. So there's like adventures that the original group had. I read some of them. They're pretty good, but it's kind of like
yeah,
it's more like just fan, like
service.
yeah, it's like fan service. Like it's not
Sure.
gonna really tie perfectly or anything like that. But it's kind of cool if you're like dying for more Star Wars. So
Yeah, I mean, there's so much out there. I mean, if I really sat down and looked at stuff and remembered things, there's a lot of we can recommend games,
there's
comics.
a ridiculous amount of books, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff you can go
But I
into.
don't think
So
any of
I
that's
mean,
canon anymore.
no, that's the thing.
unfortunately, not. But it's still fun to see where the universe could have gone.
What do they
Um,
call it now? They call it Legends, right?
yeah, like Legends. Like yeah, it's like
I remember my
there's like
friend, his dad,
3 tiers.
he had like this giant shelf in his room,
Mm.
and he had at least like 50 novels, all Star Wars, and he read every single one. And so that's I
That
mean,
sucks.
it's insane how much Yeah, I know, right? It's like that's all garbage now.
I'm happy. I think General Thrawn, I think, is now canon again because I think he shows up in Clone Wars or
Oh,
Rebels, maybe.
you know
But
what I saw in Clone Wars is those green dragon-looking guys. I don't know if you even saw them yet, Sonny or Manny. But he reminds me of this guy called Shizor. He's from the N64 game Shadows of the Empire. Do you guys remember that game or not really?
I
Bostic?
vaguely remember.
Boss? The guy
No,
from
no, it's not him. It's another dude. He's like a big green dragon guy, but he's kind of just like a crime lord, kind of like Jabba, but it ties into the game. So I saw his race basically in Clone Wars. So
Yeah.
I mean, I could see like Fioni, like that guy just he loves to bring little pieces of everything into stuff, like that weird cat that showed up in Mando, if you remember when
Oh,
they go to the bar
yeah.
and Yoda has his little bone soup and there's like this weird cat on the
Oh,
ground. Just weird little things like that. He throws them in, and if you catch it, you catch it, and if not, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I gotta watch it again. I gotta see.
Yeah, I
I
want to
don't
watch
think I
that show
remember the
like
cat.
I want to watch that show more sequentially instead of week to week over 6 weeks.
Sure. Yeah.
I want to try it again. I want to watch it again
Yeah. It's worth the watch again. It's great.
while we wait.
All right,
Anyway.
all right, guys. I think that's our episode. We're squeezing every
Yeah.
kind of juice we can.
What is
We
delicious
tried. We
juice?
tried.
All right,
So,
guys. Thank you for listening to us on our. I guess we could call this our Star Wars episode, right? I'm
Yep.
gonna get back to watching some Clone Wars right now.
Check it
You
out.
guys want to say anything?
no, thank you guys for listening. If you want to follow us, if you want to listen to the podcast in your ears, you can go to any podcasting app, and you can also find us on Spotify as well. If you want to see our mugs in person, you can go to YouTube, type in Three Nerds on a Sunday. Our name is still awesome and great, so we should be the first one on top of the search button. Follow us on Facebook on Three Nerds on a Sunday. We occasionally will upload some articles or stuff that catches our eye, but that's where you'll find out when a new episode drops, which so far, as long as everything goes right, every Sunday, we don't have a set time, but every Sunday the new episode will be out. So you can enjoy that on the day of or anytime you have some free time during the week. So thank you guys for giving us your time.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right, guys. May the force be with you.
Always.